Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy El Loco, aka Juan Rodriguez. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is episode 2. Thank you guys if you watched my first episode, and thank you all as well to the people that are like just joining in. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about the fight news that happened during these last 2 weeks, as well. Let me tell you guys about my weight right now. I'm in like I've been doing good. I started off like in the 190s, in the low 190s. Right now I'm in the high 180s. So I'm doing pretty good. I feel better. I've been getting my running time quicker. So everything's working out. Just gotta stay dedicated. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. You know, but let's talk about these fights. First of all, Thiago Santos and Jamal Hill. Woo! What a barn burner! These guys were just swinging to knock someone out. But honestly, Jamal Hill, he showed he's a top ranked contender. He did what John Jones and Ankalaev couldn't do. They couldn't finish Thiago Santos. He finished them in the fourth. And yeah, Thiago Santos was well done. He was just surviving there. I mean, also Jamal Hill, they were both like, you can tell they were both tired from like after round 2, because that's when they started like brawling and just swinging. But yeah, Jamal Hill's sweet dreams. He showed up, and yeah, let's see what's next for him. I think he should get a number one contenders fight, but we'll see what happens with that, because there's a lot of people there in the light heavyweight division that are like free to fight. I mean, Yuri, he still hasn't chosen his next opponent. Glover or Jan, and then there's still Ankalaev, and now there's Jamal Hill. So we'll see what happens in that division. They're all stacking up. But let's talk about this past week's fight. Marlon Chilo Vera, with the shocking KO over Dominic Cruz. Oh my God, was that knockout so perfectly? Like, oh, he like timed it so perfect that it like, what? Like, there was nothing Dominic Cruz could do. Like that was his style. Dominic was like, he would blitz in, and then like he would go out. That boxing technique, as Chilo Vera was saying. But he was also mixing in well with the kicks. Dominic Cruz was mixing well with the kicks, but he caught him perfectly, because I did notice that whenever Cruz would just go in with the jab and then he would step away, he would duck his head to the side. So, golly, yeah, he caught him perfectly. Congratulations to Vera. I personally think he's gonna be champion by the end of next year, because like, oh, there's so many fights in the 135. We gotta talk about the 135s. Like, Aljamain Sterling's fighting TJ Dillashaw. To be honest with you, I do not like Aljamain Sterling. I don't think he should be champion right now. I think it should be Piotr Jan, however you say his name. But yeah, I don't think Algis should be the champion. I think he's gonna lose to Dillashaw, because I feel Dillashaw has the wrestling to keep the takedowns away from him, and he has a way better striking, because Sterling has shown he doesn't have the best striking ever. You saw his last fight with Piotr Jan. He barely did enough with the first round, and in the last 2 rounds that he lost dominantly, like we all knew he lost them, he did not show any good striking. He would like what? He would swing with his head down. Like, what? That was like, Piotr Jan could have done some things and he could have finished that fight. I personally think that. But yeah, that fight's gonna happen, as well as Piotr Jan and Sugar Sean O'Malley. That one's gonna be a really interesting fight. I feel like we've seen this kind of matchup before with Piotr when he fought Sanhagen. A taller guy, longer reach. But you saw Piotr Jan, he was closing that distance in, and he did not care. He was just throwing his hands, and he did way more than enough to win that fight. But it's gonna be interesting to see Sean O'Malley's approach. I feel he's gonna try taking in that distance, try picking him apart. So Petr Yan can't land a punch, but we'll see what happens there. Honestly, I would think Petr Yan's gonna win. I see him as like one of the best right now fighters, not just in the division, but overall in the UFC. So we'll see what happens in that fight. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-round fight. So, because Petr Yan is like Chito Vera, those guys like to start in the later rounds. So we'll see if he decides to pick up the pace or not. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then as well as Jose Aldo, he's fighting too. He's fighting Marab Dvijiv. Yeah, he's fighting. I think he's from Georgia, the country, not the state. But we'll see what happens with them. I think Jose Aldo can do enough to win that fight, but we'll see. He is getting later on in h's ages, so we'll see what happens with that fight. And then as well as Corey Sandhagen, he's fighting Sanya Dong. Oh, that fight's gonna be very interesting. Another fight for Corey Sandhagen where he doesn't have to worry about being taken down to the ground. So it's going to be another strike. But Sanya Dong, he is coming off a good KO victory over Marlon Moraes. But we'll see how he does there. I personally think, that one's a tough one too. I don't know who to give that fight. But whoever wins between that fight, between Corey Sandhagen and Sanya Dong, should fight the winner of Jose Aldo and Marab. But yeah, and then that's how I think this is gonna happen. But then I think Chito Vera, he should get his title. But if they don't give him the title fight, he should fight the winner between Petr Yan or Jose. My bad. Between Petr Yan or Sugar Sean O'Malley. I think that would be good because I know people want to see the rematch with Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley, but we'll see what happens there if O'Malley can win or not. Because I know Chito was also talking about he should have fought. He was supposed to fight Petr Yan instead of Dominic Cruz, but then he said that Petr Yan was like eating pizza at some Italian place. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I think these guys are gonna fix it how they fight. I always think like the championship fighters, they usually tend to not fight as much. Unlike there's some champions that have been fighting a lot quite frequently this year. But Aljamain Sterling barely fought once this year and once last year. He's barely fighting again this year. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I want Chito Vera to end up being the champion. That's who I want over everyone. Who I think will be the champion is him. If not, Petr Yan. I still think Petr Yan is the best guy there, except for Chito Vera. Gotta support our Latinos. But yeah, that's what I think what's gonna happen in the 135. But let's switch to the 135 in boxing. Because there's a lot of heat going on there. I don't know if you guys saw, but Lomachenko, he came back from Ukraine. And he said there's going to be some fight news ready, so I'm excited. Who do I think he's going to fight? If he doesn't get the title fight with Devin Haney, because I think Kambosos is trying to get his rematch clause. Yeah, if Lomachenko can't get that fight, I don't know who would they offer him. Because I don't think he would fight like DeJarvante Davis right away or other guys that are there in the top, like he already beat Richard Kami, maybe some Jojo Diaz. I honestly wouldn't know who they would offer Lomachenko to. But I want to see Devin Haney defend his belts, Cambosos took a bit to defend his belts against Haney. I mean, Cambosos was supposed to fight Lomachenko, but then the whole thing on Ukraine happened, and that's when they switched opponents. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, in the 135, it's very interesting because, there's Gervonta Davis too. I'm pretty sure he wants the rest of the belts because I think he has one. But we'll see what happens there. But I do be seeing Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia like, whoa, that they've been wanting to fight. But I think I don't like what Ryan Garcia did. He decided to go up to 140 and fight there. So this is what I think he did that for. Yeah, I guess he didn't want to fight at 135, wanted to fight those killers, even though there's a lot of killers in the 140 division too. But he didn't want to fight the 135 people. I'm guessing he was avoiding who, like Haney and Davis, Lomachenko. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was all like, "Oh, I'll fight Gervonta Davis at 140." Like, what, bro? Come on, like. I'm pretty sure this is what I think. I think Gervonta Davis isn't done with the 135, so I don't think he would just go up and wait to be like trying to fight there. No, I think he's gonna still be fighting at 135, and he won't be moving up in weights until he's ready or he feels he's done with the 135 division. So by this dude doing that, like, oh yeah, fight me in this weight. What? You guys had talked about fighting in 135. Why you want to move it up 5 more pounds? Like, come on, bro. Like, you're just making it more complicated. Like, of course he's gonna say no. He's still not done in the 135. Like, yeah, you might be done already because you're probably scared of fighting other dudes. But come on, bro. Don't be saying he doesn't want to fight you just because you decided to go up in weight. Well, no, come on, bro. It's obvious. Like. And he's like, "Oh, I'll record everything, all the transactions." Like, come on, bro. It's like, don't make it too hard. Like, just go back down to 135. If you really want to fight him, go back down to 135. Take what's going on and be like, okay, let's fight. But no, now Ryan Garcia is in the 140s. Who else is in the 140? The guy that just recently won, Teofimo Lopez, he said he was tired of cutting weight. Teofimo Lopez, he said, "Oh, making down to 135, it wasn't a good weight cut. That's why he lost to Cambosos, even though he thought he won, but then the weight cut too." So these guys, there's always excuses there. But honestly, it was a good victory for Teofimo Lopez. I congratulate him. I did think he was gonna win, even though he was fighting a Mexican fighter, but. Yeah, I saw. You could tell from round 2, he was a more aggressive fighter. Well, not more aggressive because the other guy was pressuring more. Pedro Campa, I think that's his name. He was pressuring him way more. So he was like, Teofimo was kind of backing off, but you can tell Teofimo was just throwing way stronger too, and that's how he ended up getting that finish in round 7. So that was a good fight. So yeah, I think if Ryan Garcia doesn't want to go down, he should fight Teofimo Lopez in the 140-pound division. In the 140, there's still a lot of guys that are really good. There's Josh Taylor, Jose Cepeda. There's so many good guys there in the 140-pound division. So if these guys thought it was gonna be easier there, be mistaken. Come on. But yeah, I want to correct a message or a comment that I had made in the last fights that I was incorrect. It was about the Irish guy. I can't remember his name too well. Because he fought as well 2 weeks ago. But who did he fight? Let me go. What was his name actually? Let me make that sure. Yeah, I can't remember his name exactly, and I can't even know what to search up. But yeah, he fought 2 weeks ago, and I had said his most recent fight he won by knockout, but actually he lost by knockout in like the last round. So I just wanted to correct my mistake right there. But yeah, he looked really good. He was saying like, "Oh, I didn't decide to fight crazy in that fight." Like go crazy or go ham in his fights because he's all like, come on, like I saw the fight, I saw his loss, and that knockout was it looked pretty bad. So he was all like, don't get mad at me if I start fighting more safe. I gotta take care of my health. Like, that's understandable. You know, you can't be taking too many KOs like that. If you've gotten caught once, you can get caught again, which is what I think was gonna happen to Dominic Cruz. Let's switch back to the UFC. I personally think Dominic Cruz should retire. Like, I mean, I know he still looked really good. He was on his A game. He looked really good. He was winning. I mean, he was winning the entire fight, but you know, stuff like that happens, KOs like that. But I mean, he was getting dropped in every other round there too. He got dropped in the first, and then I think in the third as well. So you can tell his chin isn't the same, or his yeah. I know he got a lot of knee surgery, so maybe it doesn't add up for him. But yeah, I think he should. I personally think Dominic Cruz should retire. You already won the belt twice. You have nothing more to prove. You have a good job, being in the table with analyzing the fights or being commentary. So I think I personally think, like, I don't want to watch him fight like that again. Like, it's like, just whenever he gets hit right on the button, like, his legs just stop working, and you hate to see that. But yeah, I think Dominic Cruz, he's done enough for the sport. The same thing that's happening to him. It's happening to a lot of fighters, like Marlon Moraes. That's why he retired. You can tell his chin just couldn't handle it anymore. And yeah, stuff like that. I know people are like, no, he shouldn't, but I personally think he should. You do not want to see, like, your favorite fighter being dropped like that for any strong punch. You can tell he couldn't take many of Chilo's punches. That's why he was backing off away. He wouldn't try to brawl with him. But yeah, let's talk about this upcoming championship fight. The welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. They consider him the pound for pound great right now. I don't think he's a pound for pound great. I still think if he wants to prove that, he needs to be fighting more people than the same ones he's already fighting. Like, yeah, he beat Colby Covington twice. They were both kind of questionable, but I think he won them, as well as George Masvidal twice. There's defenses there. Yeah, I liked how he fought Gilbert Burns, in one of his title defenses. But do I think he has enough to beat Leon Edwards? Yes, I think he has enough to beat him, but I also think Leon Edwards has enough to win as well. So this will be a good fight. I'm rooting for Leon Edwards. Gotta go for the underdog there. But I think he can get it done. That's a maybe. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. I think he can get it done. I just say he did. I was like, he has enough. No, yeah, my bad. Forget about that. But yeah, I think he has enough to win that fight, and he does look more determined. And they're fighting. It's cool that they're fighting in Utah. Very interesting. I think Salt Lake City, Utah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm hoping Leon Edwards wins, but we'll see what happens there. As well as who else is fighting? Oh, Luke Rockhold. He's another one. He's another guy that I don't think should be fighting anymore, because when you see him getting, oh my god, even Dana White has said it himself that he's gotten his jaw broken twice. Like, his brain isn't gonna respond the same to strong punches, especially he's fighting who? The eraser, Paulo Costa. Like, come on. Yeah, that one's gonna be a good fight. But I honestly think Paulo Costa is just gonna knock him out. Like, not trying to be mean or anything, but yeah, like, come on. Like, this guy, he's one of those two that has been getting knocked out a bit too much, and it's not cool. It's not like, it's crazy. It's like brutal seeing them get knocked out like that. But he say he wants to do this. He has nothing to prove, so we'll see what happens there. I think if he loses this fight, he should just stop trying, at all, to try and fight again. That's it. But we'll see what happens. We first have to see if Paulo Costa makes weight, or maybe he drinks a bottle of wine before the fight and ends up losing. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think Paulo Costa is gonna win. And then, as well as Jose Aldo, he's fighting in this card too. I already talked about that fight. I think he'll do enough to win the fight. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. We'll see what's going on with all that stuff. And then we gotta talk about the we also gotta talk about the middleweight division. You know, like there's so many fights that got booked recently. You know, there was Israel Adesanya, of course, with no shocker, he's gonna fight Alex Pereira. That one's gonna be very interesting. I haven't seen their kickboxing matches, but I'll probably look into them to see exactly what happened. This is one thing I've been seeing recently a lot with Israel Adesanya. He was all like, because he said it when he fought Alex Pereira, he was like, "Yeah, I was winning the whole fight, blah blah blah," or "I won both fights," or he won the first fight because it was a decision, and then he was winning the whole fight, the second fight before he got knocked out. And then I was like, I thought about it, like I was like, okay, yeah, you can be winning, but you didn't win, you know, like come on, bro, like oh, it's a fight, you know, whatever happens till the end, till they stop it, whatever. Because I was like, you know, like he said that too, also against where your boy Brandon Moreno he beat Kai Kara France, and then he was telling Kai Kara France, you see all the videos like, oh, you were winning that fight, we know who the real champ is. I was like, what? What are you saying, bro? Like, he's not the real champ. He lost. He lost his fight, you know, because yeah, he was doing enough to be winning the fight, but he couldn't finish it. So come on, he got finished. Like what? Come on, it's a fight. You know, as much as you hate to see it, your own guy lose. He lost the fight because he got finished. He couldn't continue throughout the whole fight, so he's not the interim champ. Like it's easy as that. That's what I've been seeing a lot of Izzy. You know, but uh, do I think he's gonna win? Yeah, I think he's gonna win against Alex Pereira. Pereira, whew, that brutal knockout over Sean Strickland. I still can't get over that. I wanted Sean Strickland to win so bad, but you know, stuff like that happens. We'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, but Alex Pereira really good. If Alex closes the distance, he say he's gonna try closing the distance. That Izzy, you know, his best weapon is his kicks. But yeah, you see him Izzy throw his kicks a lot. So I Alex Pereira is probably gonna try closing them and just boom, you know, throw his hands, close distance. You know, he generates so much power and he doesn't even need to twist his body that much. He like just from swinging there. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm excited for that fight as well. You know, Robert Whitaker, he's my favorite 185er. You know, favorite 80 middleweight fighter. My bad. With that, he's fighting Marvin Vettori. I feel like Marvin Vettori is probably gonna try and take him down, but Robert Whitaker, he's gonna stand up. I think he has enough to have the how do you say the best take. I think he has a good takedown defense. So I think Marvin Vettori is gonna try taking him down, but then he probably can't. So yeah, I hope Robert Whitaker wins. You know, they were supposed to fight before, but then Whitaker got an injury, so he had to cancel his fight. But they postponed it like a bit later, so that's good. You know, we'll see what happens with them because both of them already fought Israel twice. Even though I did think Whitaker won the second fight, I don't think they would want to book their third fight if Israel wins and if Whitaker wins as well. That close. So we'll see what happens there. As well, they announced Jared Cannonier against Sean Strickland. You know, they both lost their fights in their previous bout. So I think that's fair enough. You know, the winners with Alex Pereira and Izzy are fighting, and then the losers are fighting Jared Cannonier and Sean Strickland. Is what I think this is gonna happen. Whoever wins, if Sean Strickland gets the win over Jared Cannonier, and if Israel wins over Alex Pereira, I think they'll give the fight to Sean Strickland because you know you saw Sean Strickland talking all that shit. You know everyone liked it. He stole the show. You can tell Izzy was mad, so maybe he can get under his skin. So we'll see what happens there. Who do I think is gonna win with Jared Cannonier and Sean Strickland? Ooh, that's a tough one. I honestly, I do not like that Sean Strickland's fighting so soon already, especially after getting knocked out. You know, so if Cannonier can get the punch. He can get it. He can close the fight. But yeah, I'm really I want Sean Strickland to win, but I think Jared Cannonier is gonna win. More with how they fight. But I mean, you've seen Jared Cannonier get wobbled too, so Sean Strickland can close it. I mean, if Sean Strickland decides to wrestle, maybe he can get the win through there. But I mean, I know he's not gonna want that. I think he's gonna want to stand up, and Jared Cannonier is gonna want to stand up. So that's gonna be. Let's see what happens there. But yeah, let's hope Sean Strickland can get back. He's a really funny guy. The stuff he says is like, what are you saying, bro? He's all like, yeah, like, come meet me in the desert. I wanna kill you. Like, oh, sorry for my language with that, but he's like, oh yeah, I wanna do crazy stuff to you. What is he saying? It's just funny. He cracks me up. That's why I like him. But it's funny. He's funny. And then as well, they announced Derek Brunson against Jack Hermanson. As Derek Brunson had said 2 fights ago, well, 1 fight ago before this fight, he was all like, yeah, I'm only going to fight 2 more times, whether he wins or loses. So I'll take it. This is going to be his last fight against Jack Hermanson. So may the best man win. Jack Hermanson, he's been doing pretty good. He's, win, loss, he's one of those guys, like, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, whoever wins there, I don't really think who can win, who would do more, because they're both kind of more wrestlers. So we'll see what happens there, if they decide to take it to the ground or not. But yeah, Darren Till, I'm waiting for him to fight. I don't know what's going on with him. Well, his injuries, other than that. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Darren Till. There's also guys that's very interesting what these 2 guys are doing. Hamza and Kevin Holland. Both of them are middleweights, but they decided to cut that extra weight to fight at welterweight. I don't know, they're trying to be weight bullies, trying to get ranked up in the welterweight rankings. And once they get there, they want to, I guess, get the title shot, and then boom, bulk up to 185 again. So that was very interesting of them to do. So we'll see who can pull it off better, or will they end up fighting again, or not again. Sorry about that. If they end up fighting there, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's the news. Andy Reid, he's almost fighting. I'm pumped for that fight. And then as well, I forgot about this fight. Oh my God. Anthony Joshua is going to try getting his belts back against Usyk. So we'll see who wins there. I personally think Usyk may win, but if Anthony Joshua decides to fight a bit more dirtier, I think he can get it done. He is a much bigger guy than Usyk, but Usyk does have the speed as well. So we'll see what happens there. But that one's going to be a good fight to see, honestly. Usyk against Anthony Joshua. Usyk, he has perfect boxing. His boxing technique, it's all about boom, his jab, and then like his movement as well. He's like super fast for being a heavyweight. So we'll see if Anthony Joshua can get it done there. As well as I was seeing that Tyson Fury, he might come back. I know that he also he let go of his belt. Tyson Fury, he let go, I think it was a WBC belt. So it doesn't look like he wants to get any more with boxing. So that sucks to see. But we'll see what happens with that WBC belt. Is Deontay Wilder gonna fight for it again? Against who? Or are they gonna give it? Are they gonna have the champ Usyk fight for it? We'll see what happens there. But first he has to get past Anthony Joshua and see if he can get his belts back. I don't know what's happening to him. If he wins, like, I don't know what's going on with him, where he's all like, yeah, I'm a fight, and then he loses his really big fight, and then he comes back and wins the rematch. So we'll see if he does it again. It's going to be very interesting to call. But yeah, oh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I wanted to talk about this fight. MVP against Mike Perry. Oh my God, I saw their interview the other day. Mike Perry is so funny. He's like, what is he saying too? He's like a Sean Strickland, just a welterweight though. But that one's gonna be very interesting. They're doing a BKFC fight, bare knuckles, so it's gonna be very interesting how MVP decides to, we'll see how he does with taking those punches, bare knuckles. But yeah, Mike Perry, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try and fight dirty, but he has really good boxing. But MVP, as he called it out, he was like, yeah, everyone's seeing my KOs by kicks, but you're forgetting about my hands. He has really good hands. I was watching his videos, and yeah, he sets his punches really up. He would set up his kicks really well with his punches. So we'll see what he does here, by just focusing on punches, and they're also bare knuckles. But yeah, guys, thank you. I think this is going to be everything for this week's episode. I'll be back in a week or two, and recap the fights that I just talked about. I gave my predictions, and we'll see what more happens there, as well as my journey to return to the ring for amateur boxing. I did just recently buy some new boxing gloves, so I'm really pumped for those. They are a good brand. It's Title Boxing, but it's like a sub brand of theirs. It's called Promex, Promex, if I'm correct. It's like professional Mexican. That's what I think it stands for, but I'm not really sure what it stands for exactly. But I'm really pumped for those gloves. The ones that I have kind of weren't the best, so I was happy to buy these. But yeah, guys, let's stay in touch. Thank you guys, and drink water. We can't forget about drinking water, guys. Thank you.